I would like to introduce you to a housing provider, a special one in Burbank, who believes in just this. He has written a book called Wealth on Any Income, a book that I am working through, and he has a passion, a housing provider here in Burbank, who has a passion of uplifting his residents. Ladies and gentlemen, Rennie Gabriel.
Hi folks, I'm Rennie Gabriel. I am a housing provider here in Burbank. I bought our first property here in 2007, so it's going on 18 years now, where I have an interest in what happens in Burbank. I'll give you a good example of the importance that having quality tenants and being a quality housing provider means. During COVID, where a lot of tenants decided they didn't need to pay rent and wouldn't pay rent, 100% of my tenants paid 100% of their rent. Why? Because I have a relationship with them. I am not some major corporation that doesn't care about my tenants. When something goes wrong, it gets addressed immediately. I'm having to spend the savings that it took me a lifetime to create to protect my life savings from the City Council of Burbank for the socialists who want no one to own property. As Chris Rosati and others have said, why not pay attention to what the voters in Burbank want, which is they don't want rent control. So put it on the ballot again. Do it for a third time. We've already turned it down twice. Now, I asked at the last meeting of the City Council, I spoke to both Constantine Anthony and Nikki Perez and requested, as renters, they recuse themselves from anything to do with voting on rent control. And the reason for it is, they told Chris Rosati, they reported him to the Fair Practices Commission, that he should not be allowed to vote on tenant issues because he owns rental property. Well, they're renters, so they shouldn't be voting on it either. I have a unit that's coming available on North Myers, and I'm not getting the response that I was getting. The previous tenant was paying $23.95 for a one-bedroom. They got a washer dryer, they got garage parking, they've got a backyard, and I'm not getting the inquiries, which means I'll probably be reducing the rent. It's not going up, it's going down. So the new renter is probably going to be paying less. As you've already heard, the Burbank Tenants Union, ETU, is bussing people in. They don't pay taxes here, they don't own property here, they should have no say in convincing our city council what to do to us housing providers. As an example, Proposition H passed in Pasadena, and here's what those kind of people who got that into place have to say. I don't think that the political analysis of most tenants in the city is still pretty underdeveloped, and this is the first step. Our next step is to heighten the antagonism between us and the landlords. They want to divide and conquer. They don't care about doing what's fair. That's why all of you need to show up at 4 o'clock at the next City Council meeting, which is next Tuesday, and fight for your rights. This is the United States. We operate under a constitution. This is similar to the Communist Manifesto, and if that's what you want Burbank to turn out like, stay home.